Life Health Show. What if I told you out there that there is a new company that's starting up? It's not started yet. You could be an owner of the company, or at least a partner in the company, and the company is going to get the world's healthiest, highest quality foods out to people, and is going to be tremendously successful profit-wise. And without spending a tremendous amount of money, you can become a partner of this organization. What if I told you that the way the foods are being sold today, the way the government's taking control over the food today, and even health food stores, you can't guarantee you're getting healthy, good quality food right from the farm, can change. And you can make sure you, your family, and your loved ones get the healthiest foods out there while you profit from it, because you are the people in control doing this. I know it sounds too good to be true, folks, but it's here, it's now, and now is the time to get serious about this. If you're serious about changing your health, changing your life, changing your future and the future health of your family and friends, you want to take this seriously. The company is called Beyond Organic. It takes organic to the next level. You cannot currently in this country get certain foods that are healthy. Now, first let's talk about water. The water that's being sold in this country, I have a lot of friends out there that are vegetarians and are worried about the environmental issues and the environment in general. Well, a big majority of the bottled water that comes to this country, not only is it in plastic bottles, which are bad for the environment, but there's a big impact with that travel time for it to get to you and destroying our environment with the planes and so on. And also, we look at the springs that are here in the United States. Many of them, the grounds around them are not organic, so a lot of the chemicals that are on the land leach into the water that is ultimately getting into you in that supposedly clean bottled water. So that industry is not as safe as you think it is. But Jordan Rubin, he went on, if you don't know who he is, he wrote The Maker's Diet, a New York Times best-selling book about health and diet. He also had a company called Garden of Life, which he just sold, and he bought one of the top tested springs in the United States in North Georgia, and he's going to be able to bring you one of the only springs that's on 100% organic land right to you as part of this company. They're going to have their water. But he's taking it to the next level because he has a whole line of infused flavored waters that he's also going to get out to you. So those drinks in the stores that are flavored and colored, and even if they say natural in a bottle, are just not healthy. Well, the two main ingredients in Jordan infused drinks are going to be his water, or the water from his springs, and probiotics. And then he's going to have the natural flavors added to it, which is going to make this the healthiest drinks out there for us to get. It's going to be loaded, and they're not herbal teas. They're infusions, and they are going to be not only for refreshment, but also for medicine for our bodies. That's how good they're going to be. So medicine that tastes good. How does that sound? But Jordan's also going to have, one of the worst things in today's world is milk for our bodies. If you walk into the average grocery today and get milk, it is a drug cocktail. Most cultures around the world do not even drink straight up milk because it's not the ideal for our body. But what they've done in history time, what they've done is milk has been fermented around the world, and then you get yogurt or you get kefir. Well, there's a tribe in Africa that has been living off a fermented milk product for a very long time called Amasi, and they've been noted for their great health and their great strength. And Jordan Rubin's company, for the first time in the United States, is bringing this Amasi to the United States, where he's going to make it on his own farm with his own cattle that's 100% grain-fed. That is very significant because it's not just like yogurt from your average farm that's processed and infested with drugs as well. It's raw, it's drug-free, hormone-free, pesticide-free, 100% green-fed cattle. You're getting their milk, and it's going to be this fermented milk drink made from that, which does have one of the highest sources of natural probiotics that our bodies can get to heal. On top of that, they're going to have cheeses. that are going to be with that same milk that are going to be made. So you're helping the environment, saving the environment, and you're also saving your health. Then they're going to have, for those of you that want to eat meat, I don't eat meat. I don't like meat. I don't want to eat meat. I have no desire to eat meat. But I have a lot of friends and family that does eat meat. And the truth is, the meat they're eating is not healthy. Even if they're going to the health food store to get meat, even the free range or the grass-fed meat out there is not as healthy as it could be. Well, up till now, we couldn't do anything about it, but now we can. Jordan is going to have, in Beyond Organic, 100% grain-fed cattle that he's going to raise with no pesticides, no vaccinations, none of that. Just like it was done on the farm, right from the farm to the plate. And I have people a lot of friends that are vegans, and they say they can't support a company or even be part of a company that's killing cattle. Well, I don't want to be part of a company that's destroying the environment when we see how bad it is to get the cattle from the places and to see how many drugs are being put into the cattle. And I love my friends and family, even though they eat meat. I want to make sure they get the healthiest kind of meat they could actually eat. And from a biblical standpoint, there's no way to currently get from a commercial farm healthy meat that is kosher. All kosher meat is unhealthy and all healthy meat is not kosher. Well, for the first time, this is going to be possible for those of you that do eat meat out there. And those of you that are vegans, that really care about the animals, I do too, and I would never support commercial farming from the typical commercial outlet. But when you understand Beyond Organic and what Jordan Rubin's doing and how he's got this set up, I think you'll be a little bit more enthusiastic about this. Now, are you contributing to the death of animals if you're supporting a company that does? Well, you could look at it that way, but you could also look at it that, I'd rather contribute to the death of an animal than to the death of my own friends and family, that if I allow them or let them to keep eating that toxic, drugged up milk and that terrible meat, we all have to put our personal selfish reasoning behind, and we have to care as much as we do about ourselves, for our family as well. And we have to stop putting our pets over our loved ones. I love animals. I don't want to eat animals. I love them. But I know there's a lot of people out there that do eat animals and love eating animals. And I also know the Bible says it's okay for those that want to eat animals to eat the clean animals. Well, you can't get clean animals today unless you're doing it with wisdom. And Beyond Organics is doing it with wisdom. So we have to put aside this whole idea of slaughter in general, and we have to understand that, yes, for me, ideally, I want to get the whole world to be a vegetarian or a vegan. That would be wonderful. I prefer vegetarian because there are foods like bee pollen and honey and even the fermented milks that are healthy and in certain instances can save somebody's life without any death being taking place. So let's say vegetarian. If it was a realistic goal to get the whole world to be on a vegetarian diet with allowing some of these other healthy nutritional bee products in there, that would be ideal. If I can get the whole world to stop eating animals or contributing to death at all, that would be wonderful. But let's be real, folks, and let the reality hold true that people aren't going to stop eating meat. Biblically, there's nothing that says you can't eat meat. It just tells you what type of meat to eat. Physically, a lot of people feel wonderful eating meat if they're eating the clean meats and the right kind of meat. And taste-wise, people love meat. They're addicted to it. So more realistically than to get the world to stop eating meat, I think we could start by getting them to eat some meat that's raised in a kosher way or a biblically standard way without having a hard impact on the environment, while also helping them be healthier. And then maybe as they're healthier, they'll think wiser, and then maybe eventually they'll get off eating the meat completely. Maybe that's a better way to approach this than tell them, you're slaughtering animals, so I don't want to talk to you. So folks, we also have to remember we used to eat meat as well. We've came from a certain place, so, we can't expect people to change overnight. So, there's realistic goals, there's our selfish motives, and there's humanity. Killing and death on any level is still killing and death. Is there a right way to kill in death, or a good way to kill and be killed and have death? Or is there a better way? Well, unnatural death is an unnatural death. Some people believe that we shouldn't be eating animals. Some people believe it's okay. Some people believe that there's a food chain and death is just part of the natural process of the food chain. Well, folks, whatever you believe, I'm looking at reality. The reality is, I experimented in the past with consuming animal products in terms of meat, and I didn't like it physically. I didn't like the taste, but other people do. I didn't like the way it made me feel, but other people do. So for me personally, I don't have to do that and take part of that in terms of consuming the food, but I have a responsibility to my friends and my family who do that, to make them aware of what's going on and at least make sure they're getting the healthy meats. At least make sure from a spiritual standpoint they're not eating unclean kosher meats. Letting them know that things like pork are much more harmful than eating the clean meats that are found in Scripture. Letting them know that the drugged up, processed commercial dairy farms and cattle farms is a lot more harmful to be around than a place like Beyond Organic that Jordan Rubin's starting up. I know it's a tough question. How could a vegan support or even a vegetarian support a company where cattle are being destroyed? Well, again, we could support it by helping people to become healthier and wiser in their decisions. And then maybe they'll just feel so good and they'll get so filled up from the healthy food that they won't have a desire to keep eating the unhealthy food. And then maybe one day they'll come to the conclusion that they don't want to partake in the animal meat either. But certainly we have to do something. And by just boycotting the whole industry that's around the death, it is not the same in every instance. Cattle farms and cattle ranches that are run by big corporations are different than people that are doing it with their own animals in their own yard and stuff and so on. I'm not justifying death is okay in one situation as not in another. No, I'm not trying to do that. But I'm saying just like Monsanto is taking control over the farming industry when it comes to fruits and vegetables and taking small farmers, their farms away and throwing them in jail and fining them because they're growing food that the big corporations have corrupted and are growing. Well, it's the same thing. There is a difference in the big factory, common commercial farm today versus people that are doing it the way that it was designed to be. And we need to take responsibility, folks, and we need to be more serious about this. So I'm so excited about Beyond Organic, what Jordan Rubin is doing, and I think you will be too if you see the company as a whole. What good is it if we're avoiding drinking unclean water, but the meat you're eating is coming from animals that are drinking unclean water? What good is it if you're not drinking unclean water, but the fruits and vegetables that you're washing is being washed with unclean water? Oxymoron, folks. If you want the best of the best of the best of the best, you'll get the cleanest water, the cleanest produce, the highest quality produce, and also you'll assure that your friends and your family do what they're doing the best way possible. Now, if they desire not to take part in these things for whatever excuse they might have, at least you told them. In the Bible it says we need to make a people aware when something is dangerous to their health and their life. And once we make them aware of it, it's no longer on us, it's on them. They have to take the responsibility and do something. But if we know something and we don't make them aware of it, it's on us, folks. So I'm making you aware and doing my part that the way food and the food industry is today is not being done in a righteous way. It's not being done in a healthy way. And the Beyond Organic company that Jordan Rubin has is helping people do it the right way and helping people help themselves with the structure that they're doing with their mission marketing, helping the widows and the orphans of the world, and helping even you make a living by doing this. So instead of people paying money to the health food stores and the supermarket, you're getting a part of that. And with that money, you could help other people around you. I think that is the more righteous way to do things and a righteous way to live. Folks, check out Beyond Organic. I'm putting a link below the video here. See what they're about. And if you have comments or questions, post them below the video. I understand and I respect people that do not want to get involved in certain things because they just don't know enough about it. I understand and respect people that have such a conviction for not being around any industry that contributes to the death of animals. I understand that. But I also understand that we have a responsibility to help keep our fellow man healthy. And yes, we could tell them to go eat a vegetarian diet if we believe that's the best way to eat. We could tell them not to consume animals. But we also have to look at reality. And if we want to be successful at helping our friends and family, we have to find out what's going to work for them. If I know somebody who's not interested in giving up animals, me telling them how bad animals are is not really helping them. Me telling them they have to stop eating animals if that's not their goal is not helping them. But me telling them there's a big difference between the animals that they are consuming versus the animals they could be consuming. And if I show them what that difference is, I think that's helping everyone get to the next level. And then eventually we can look at our higher goals. So folks, this is a very serious thing. And if you really care about, the health of your friends and family and your own health ultimately, I think we should look at this, because health is more than just diet, it's more than just food, it's conscience, there's a spirituality to it, so there's a lot more to it. So instead of looking at this as contributing to something that you don't want to be part of, I say in a kind way, let's put a selfish motives behind and say, I want to get people to be as healthy and wise as possible, and even if I have to humble myself and go against one of my personal convictions or beliefs to know that I can get them at this place, well, I'm going to try to do that, especially if it's a loved one or a family member. And it's helping the environment, so ultimately it's helping everyone. Alright, enough of that, folks. Go check out the link below this video, and if you have any comments or questions, post them below the video. But check out Beyond Organic, Jordan Rubin's new company. I think you'll be glad you did, and it's just kicking off, so look into it now. Okay, everybody? Thank you, and have a great day.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.